Welcome to this presentation on why clean, crash-free energy is so important in your training regimen. Too often we equate energy with feeling wired or hyped, but a sustainable approach means supporting your body's systems without burning out your nervous system. Today I'm going to walk you through what real energy means, why typical pre-workouts fall short, and how we can fuel our workouts and daily life with a smoother, more reliable source of power. By the end, you'll understand how to build up your energy reserves in a way that enhances performance while protecting your nervous system and overall well-being. Let's begin by examining some common misconceptions about what energy actually feels like. Many people think that being energetic means feeling wired, hyped, and even aggressive. Marketing often reinforces this by portraying intense stimulation as the hallmark of a good pre-workout. But those sensations are usually just the side effects of high doses of caffeine and other stimulants, not indicators of quality energy. Feeling jittery or overly amped may give you a short burst of adrenaline, but it rarely translates into sustained performance or focus. In fact, chasing that edgy feeling can lead to anxiety and rapid burnout. To understand why, we need to redefine energy in physiological terms. On the next slide, I'll explain what true, sustainable energy looks like at the cellular level. Real energy is a combination of central nervous system activation, abundant neurotransmitters, and ample ATP production. Your brain and spinal cord coordinate muscular contractions and mental focus. Adequate dopamine and norepinephrine keep you motivated and alert. And ATP, the energy currency of the cell, powers every movement you make. If any of these components are compromised, you may feel sluggish despite a stimulant rush. Sustainable performance depends on supporting all three: protecting your nervous system, replenishing neurotransmitters, and providing the substrates to generate ATP efficiently. Understanding this foundation helps explain why high stimulant pre-workouts often miss the mark. Next, we'll look at the problems with most pre-workout energy formulas. Most pre-workouts deliver energy through a sharp spike of stimulation. Heavy reliance on caffeine and similar compounds blocks adenosine receptors and floods your system with stress hormones, giving you an immediate lift. But this spike is often followed by a steep drop because it doesn't address underlying neurotransmitter supply or cellular energy production. The result is a short-term output that may help you through the first half of your session, but leaves you feeling depleted afterward. And because these formulas don't provide sustained support, you're more susceptible to crashes and inconsistent performance. To see why the drop is so hard, we first need to understand what a crash really entails, which we'll cover next. A crash isn't just feeling tired, it's the result of specific physiological processes. When you consume high doses of caffeine, you temporarily block adenosine receptors. Meanwhile, adenosine continues to accumulate. Once the caffeine wears off, those receptors are overwhelmed by the built-up adenosine, causing pronounced fatigue. High stimulation also accelerates neurotransmitter release, depleting dopamine and norepinephrine stores, which can leave you mentally flat. Finally, some products can cause rapid swings in blood sugar, leading to instability that further saps energy and focus. Together, these factors create the crash, that sudden wave of exhaustion, irritability, and brain fog. We'll next look at how caffeine contributes to these mechanisms in more detail. Caffeine works by blocking adenosine receptors, preventing you from feeling sleepy. But the more receptors you block, the more adenosine builds up in the background. When the caffeine wears off, that accumulated adenosine binds to receptors all at once, triggering rebound fatigue. High doses also stress the adrenal system, leading to a cortisol surge followed by a slump. Because the dose-response curve for caffeine is nonlinear, a small amount can sharpen focus, while a large amount can cause jitteriness, anxiety, and more severe crashes. Recognizing how these dose-dependent effects work will help us design a smarter approach. Next, we'll discuss how crashes affect your training sessions beyond just feeling tired. When you experience a crash after a high-stimulant workout, the effects spill into your next training session. Central nervous system fatigue can persist beyond the acute energy slump, reducing your ability to recruit muscle fibers and complete high-intensity lifts. You might find yourself cutting volume because you simply can't maintain the same drive. Over time, this inconsistency leads to stalled progress and frustration. Crashes also disrupt recovery. Poor sleep and hormonal imbalances hinder your body's ability to repair muscle and adapt to training. To truly optimize performance, you need energy that doesn't steal from tomorrow. Our next slide explores how these crashes carry over into daily life outside the gym. Your workouts aren't the only thing affected by a crash. Once the stimulant high fades, your focus may drop during work or study, making simple tasks feel harder. Neurotransmitter depletion can also impact your mood, leading to irritability or a low emotional state. Sleep quality often suffers because excessive stimulation disrupts circadian rhythms. Even if you're tired, falling asleep can be difficult, and the sleep you do get may be shallow. These side effects accumulate, compromising both your training and your day to day performance. To address this, we need to contrast the difference between dirty energy and the clean, sustainable energy we're advocating, which we'll do in the next slide. Dirty energy feels like a roller coaster, a rapid spike followed by a steep drop. Clean energy, by contrast, is like a gentle curve. It builds up gradually, sustains your effort, and then tapers off smoothly, allowing for predictable recovery. With clean energy, your output remains steady rather than surging and collapsing, and you know how you'll feel after training. Achieving this involves moderate stimulant use paired with nutrients that support neurotransmitter synthesis and mitochondrial function. It's about nourishing your body rather than shocking it. Understanding this difference sets the stage for our next topic: how to use caffeine intelligently rather than letting it control you. Caffeine isn't the enemy, it's the dosage and context that matter. In moderate amounts, caffeine can enhance alertness and power output without causing undue stress on the nervous system. Aim for roughly 3 to 6 milligrams per kilogram of body weight, and time your intake about 30 to 60 minutes before training, so the effect peaks when you start your session. Pay attention to your individual tolerance. Some people do well with less, while others can handle a bit more without negative effects. Also consider the cumulative caffeine you consume from other sources during the day. By using caffeine wisely, you gain its benefits while reducing the risk of a crash. In the next slide, we'll look at other ingredients that help maintain clean energy. Beyond caffeine, several ingredients can support clean, sustained energy. L-tyrosine is a precursor to catecholamines like dopamine and norepinephrine, helping to replenish these neurotransmitters during periods of stress or intense training. Alpha GPC provides choline for acetylcholine synthesis, which supports neurocommunication, reaction time, and focus. Adaptogens such as rhodiola or ashwagandha help modulate the stress response, balancing cortisol levels so you feel alert yet calm. When these components are paired with a moderate stimulant dose, they create a balanced formula that enhances mental and physical energy without causing jitters or an abrupt crash. Next, we'll consider how supporting the brain translates into better overall energy. Your brain drives everything from motor coordination to motivation. When you support neurotransmitter synthesis and protect brain health, you experience stable focus, sustained motivation, and better decision making both in the gym and beyond. Nutrients like tyrosine and alpha GPC help maintain these cognitive functions, while adaptogens help buffer stress so your mind stays clear. With a well-nourished brain, you're less likely to feel mentally drained after training, and more likely to translate energy into productive work or quality recovery. This mental clarity is a hallmark of clean energy, an alertness that doesn't tip into anxiety, which leads us to our next topic: achieving energy without the jitters. It's possible to feel energized and calm at the same time. When a formula balances stimulants with neurotransmitter precursors and adaptogens, you get a controlled, steady arousal rather than a rushed spike. This balanced stimulation translates into fewer jitters, less anxiety, and a more centered sense of intensity. Instead of feeling like you're racing against your own heart rate, you feel in control and focused. This state allows you to channel energy into your workout effectively and come away feeling revitalized rather than exhausted. In the next slide, we'll connect this concept with recovery to emphasize why these two elements can't be separated. Sustainable energy and effective recovery are two sides of the same coin. When you overstimulate yourself, you deplete neurotransmitters and elevate stress hormones, hampering recovery. Clean energy supports central nervous system recovery by avoiding excessive stress and allowing your CNS to bounce back between sessions. It also helps maintain hormonal balance, keeping cortisol in check and promoting growth hormone and testosterone levels. The quality of your adaptations depends on how well you recover. If your energy strategy undermines recovery, you compromise gains. Understanding this relationship prepares you to choose products that nourish both energy production and recovery. Next, we'll discuss what to look for in a clean energy formula. When shopping for a clean energy formula, look for products that use clinically proven doses of each ingredient. A transparent label that lists exact amounts, not proprietary blends, is essential so you know what you're getting. Balance is key. A formula should combine moderate stimulants with amino acid precursors, choline donors, and adaptogens to support both brain and body. Avoid formulas that rely solely on caffeine or other stimulants and ignore neurotransmitter support. The ingredients should be chosen based on research, not just marketing buzzwords. Keeping these criteria in mind will help you avoid products that lead to crashes and select ones that support sustained performance. Our next slide highlights common mistakes people make that can undermine clean energy efforts. Even with a clean formula, misuse can lead to crashes. One of the most common errors is overscooping, taking more than the recommended dose in an attempt to intensify the effect, which only strains your nervous system and shortens the energy window. Stacking stimulants by combining your pre workout with coffee, energy drinks, or fat burners compounds the problem and increases the likelihood of a crash. Finally, poor sleep and inadequate hydration undermine any supplement's benefits. Without proper rest and fluid balance, your nervous system can't recover and your blood volume decreases, making pumps and performance harder to achieve. By avoiding these mistakes, you'll preserve the benefits of a clean energy approach. Now, let's consider who stands to gain the most from adopting this strategy. Clean energy formulas are especially beneficial for people who train frequently or have demanding schedules. High frequency trainers who hit the gym multiple times per week need consistent performance and reliable recovery. They can't afford the downtime that comes with crashes. Early morning lifters benefit from a smooth rise in energy without jitteriness, so they can transition into the rest of their day with focus intact. Those facing long workdays or study sessions also appreciate sustained alertness without the mid afternoon slump. Ultimately, anyone seeking reliable performance and long term progress rather than a quick hit stands to gain from adopting a clean energy strategy. With that in mind, we'll wrap up with the key takeaways. To recap, energy should be sustainable, not a series of peaks and valleys. A no crash approach translates into better training performance, more consistent output, and improved quality of life outside the gym. Moderate caffeine combined with ingredients that support neurotransmitter production and stress management provides a balanced lift. Avoid overscooping or stacking stimulants, and remember that consistency and recovery are more important than momentary intensity. By choosing clinically dosed, transparent formulas and maintaining good sleep and hydration habits, you can train hard while protecting your nervous system. Our final slide offers a few closing thoughts to inspire you moving forward. As you continue on your training journey, train hard, but remember to protect your nervous system. Sustainable energy means listening to your body, choosing supplements wisely, and prioritizing recovery as much as effort. By adopting clean energy principles, you'll not only perform better today, but also set yourself up for long term progress and health. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope these insights help you make informed decisions and feel empowered to ask the right questions of any energy formula you encounter. Now go out there, apply what you've learned, and elevate your training with confidence.